Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
Shake boogie, don't stop. Come on. That's right.
What's up? I spend all my days, all my time thinking about you, baby. Yeah. Come on. Now it's the things you do that's got me feeling for you, my baby. Ooh, yeah. Give me what I want, and I will make you happy. I'll give you what you need, and we can make it happen. Don't you wait no longer. I can't take this, baby. Can I be with you? You know you got me hoping, baby. You know you feel the same way too. I know to make you happy, baby. Just let me be down with you. 7 days I miss
Welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Andy, is that before dark? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I can't. But shout out to you for playing that. That is funny.
You can't do that. Go ahead, play it.
I can't do that.
We give us something.
I can't. Shout out to Before Dark. Let me give you some Before Dark facts. That's what I'll do.
Shout out to Mia Lee.
Yeah, Mia Lee. Shout out to Mia Wright.
Mia Wright now, yes, correct.
Mia Wright.
Palisades, you already know, class of 02, yada.
You guys went to, okay, there you go. Well, shout out to me. She is married. Well, she and her husband are friends of mine, Darrell Wright.
Okay.
So there you go. And shout out to her, I believe it's Jenny, who is a writer, producer, director, showrunner from that group. You know, they did big things. They evolved from there. So, yeah.
I guess you'll tell me offline.
You're so funny. It's nothing like that. I was just like, what is that? I'll tell you. I'll explain it to you. Welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Look, I don't know. Do we feel like, because the conversation, as I was saying before this, was about Lil Nas X, and he's since come out and apologized with some of the imagery and some of the satire, I guess I'll call it, that he's using to promote his new project that is coming up. And some people felt it was pretty sacrilegious, you know, all of those different things. It's not anything that we haven't seen him do before. But some are saying that really the reason why some of the rappers that have come out in response to what he's doing and say, you know, they're not with it, they don't appreciate it, they feel like he is, trolling, being evil or whatever. And they feel the only reason why people are coming up against it is because he's a gay black man. And that if he was any other rapper, or black heterosexual rapper, that there wouldn't be as much pushback from it. And I disagree with that. I feel like that might have something to do with a part of it. Of course, there's going to be some people, but I think overall, especially, we kind of frown. We don't get that far down into, Satan and our music in the same way that, say, maybe the rock movement did, or heavy metal and those type of things. So
Bone Thugs probably say something different about that.
You think Bone Thugs was really...
I mean, if you look at the imagery on their first album, they had songs called Mr. Ouija Man, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of innuendos.
I feel that, but don't you think they walked right up to the line? Because the example that we were using was it 99 when Hate Me Now came out with Nas and Diddy, right? And I don't know if you remember, there was 2 versions of that video. And in one version, they actually had the crucifixion scene where Nas and Diddy were carrying the crosses to, and I mentioned this about Lil Nas X before too, because we were talking about also the new movie that is out, The Book of Clarence. There were other men that were placed on the crosses during those things. The Roman soldiers were not just doing that one move for Jesus, So,
but nobody knows about the other man. Other men. Everybody knows about Jesus and the crucifixion.
Of course. I mean, and I agree with you on that. And I do, I think for a lot of us, that imagery is a little far, I feel, for a lot of people. But what do you feel about it? Do you think that it's okay that the fans are overreacting, or do you think that his sexual orientation is driving some of this reaction?
100%. I think his sexual is 100%. Look at Sam Smith. Didn't he have a song called Satan or Devil or whatnot? And what was it, the Grammys last year?
And people were mad. They were mad about him.
And I understand the LGBTQ community, how they just, I know they get a lot of flack from the church community. Correct. Right? So I think in some ways, maybe you could say it's trolling. It's like, well, this is my get back to you guys. But 2 wrongs don't make a right. Well, let me not say a wrong doesn't make a right. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that, you've probably been hurt by this community, but to troll or whatnot. When Nas did it, if I'm not mistaken, there was a statement before the video that this was they wasn't trying to be disrespectful to it. And I believe, like, it was just more of a metaphor, right? The name of the song was Hate Me Now. So, he kind of compared himself. And I understand even in the church world, that's blasphemous or whatever. But, Nas was not making a mockery of it. I know Tupac, when he was Machiavelli, like, I know there was flack about that. So, any type of depictions of Jesus Christ, the crucifixions, people are going to go crazy. But I do think somebody like a Lil Nas X,
that they're going
Sam
a little harder.
Smith, they're going ham because of the community that they represent. And it's unfortunate.
Okay. I mean, I do believe it influences it somewhat, but I still think that overall, when you step into that territory, nobody really gets any passes or breaks with that. I think that they, ride them all hard. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast. With a buck here, a buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, in downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Hey. Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So we were talking a little bit about, unholy imagery in music and videos and so forth. And the thing that I really remember about the whole thing with the Hate Me Now video shoot was the fallout that ended up happening because at the time, Puff, because he was still going by Puffy then, did not want that version of the video released. And supposedly it was accidentally sent to MTV and aired. And it caused a lot of drama. He ended up allegedly attacking Steve Stout. And Steve Stout filed some type of civil suit against him or something. I can't remember what the outcome was, but that was, one of the early starts of, outside of the incident that happened, at the community college in New York. I think it was Sunny College, and a couple other things of Puff basically being an individual that some described at that time that you didn't want around your projects and stuff like that because he was persona non grata, violent. So that was one of the things. He allegedly attacked Steve Stout because he felt that Steve did not respect his wishes as far as the video and that version of it, because Puffy said he consulted with I can't remember who he said at the time, his preacher, a priest, a man of the cloth, somebody, and they said that what he was doing wasn't right as far he and Nas were doing in that video. So that is one thing. The other thing that I also would like to remind people of is that Madonna had a song called Like a Prayer, and she signed a deal with Pepsi, and in it, Leon, the actor, portrayed her lover, but also a version of Jesus, right? And the video was banned and it was utilized in a Pepsi commercial. Madonna lost her Pepsi commercial behind that. And so when I see people say, oh, well, Lil Nas X, nobody would be blinking an eye if it wasn't for his orientation, I think that is just a tad on the false side, because I think that, at its heart, when some people describe America and American values, they do include Christian values in that. And regardless of race, that is something that falls underneath it. And we've seen many versions, like part of the stickers that Tipper Gore helped launch in the 80s was actually from music, that kind of heavy metal music that featured that type of, references, imagery, etc. Urban Spinster says, oh, this is about tomorrow. Urban Spinster, that's a good thing. We'll bring it up. We've talked a little bit about that. She's talking about Tubi and where they're at now. We'll get into that. But just to kind of end on this Illuminati thing, is it imagery or not? I do think, there might be a tad more heat, but I feel like even if Lil Nas X was just a regular rapper, people would still kind of have something to say, because that Sam Smith stuff didn't go under the radar as it could have. But I mean, I suppose everything is big for a few days and then, drop back down to, it was just whatever, and we move around and keep that thing moving. Okay, Andy.
And did we forget that Lil Nas X twerked on the devil?
No, I didn't forget about that at all. That's why I said with his last album, I mean, it's a troll thing, and you brought it up.
Too much.
I agree.
Much. Like, come on,
I agree.
Chill, bro.
I think that they could, we get it. We get it. The church has been wrong to you and unfair to you, and you want to mock them. But, you also did the Nikes with the blood in them and the 666. Like, it's just, at what point is it enough? And at what point, even if you are trolling, does that type of thing, if you feel this way, get into your spirit and become a representative of who you are now?
See, you said it too. Get into your spirit, right? For the religious folks out there, wasn't Lucifer, the devil, wasn't he like the king of music or whatnot?
Was he?
If I remember correctly.
I know he was a fallen angel. Like somebody might.
Well, he was a fallen angel, but I believe, he was.
That was his thing.
He was the person over music.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
talk about plants and stuff like that, man. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. I think Lil Nas X is a plant. First off, your name is Lil Nas X. Nas, DMX, and any Lil rapper you want to think
Lil
of.
X, there's a director, hip hop director. There's all types. Yeah.
To me, that's just a mockery of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, the individual, whoever you are, Lil Nas X, you know what I'm saying? All I'm going to do is, all I can do is pray for you and pray for your spirit. I get it. I think he's 100% being controlled. I 100% think he's an industry plant because I just don't see, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
I feel you. I understand the things that have been levied at you in the name of religion. And I understand why you might have some hesitation and so forth. But it's just like, come on, let it go. Seems a little far. We seem to be venturing into dangerous territory.
And I'm sure it's not him making those decisions. Whoever label he signed to is the one making those decisions.
Mm-hmm. And now he's backpedaling and apologizing. Good luck to you. No, I'm just playing. And where is the music? Has the music been good? Because I feel like other than Old Town Road and that song that he had with Jack Harlow, that was my jam. I don't know.
And I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
Not that I'm trying to cancel Lil Nas X, but it's just interesting that, the baby a couple years ago got canceled just, for some statements that he made. I'm not trying to play like Struggle Olympics or anything like that, but don't you think that what he's doing is like a cancelable, situation?
I'm with you. For me, it's a little too far. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in artistic creativity. And, I believe in satire too. I really enjoy satire. And one thing I can say about that is I think that sometimes satire is not something, if it's subtle, that is wholly embraced by us as a community, right? I'm not saying that we don't get into it at all, but I feel like it's not something that we dive too much into. It's not as different types of comedy. It's not higher up there or bigger than some. We tend to like our comedy big and broad and identifiable in that way. But I wish she would, just kind of chill out, make it back around to the music.
One more thing.
Of course.
Right. I like this, look, I was raised in a church, right? I'm not no holy roller or anything like that, but being raised in a church, it kind of gave me a lens to look at things spiritually, right? Or to dig a little bit deep, and just in general, the music industry in general, and I'm gonna specify hip hop. You don't think that there's this I don't want to say admiration, but like this proclivity to always want to talk about religion to a degree, right? You got Jay-Z, Jehovah, Kanye is always talking about it. Tupac was always talking about it. God is always being brought up.
But let me ask you, do you think that is because for the Black community, right, it has always been so intertwined as part of our
culture?
Yeah. But when I'm saying, I want to say pop culture, but that's not the word that I mean. But you know what I'm saying? Like our general culture and spaces. Like, think about with BET. One of the complaints, one of the confusing things that we had was BET Uncut on Saturday nights, Bobby Jones Gospel Sunday mornings, maybe an hour after that.
And what's the other guy's name? I'm about to give you your miracle personal prayer package. You forgot about? I forgot that dude's name. I'm about to Google him real quick. Oh, Pastor Kearney Thomas.
Okay.
You're going to get your miracle today. I don't know if you remember him, but he was on BET too.
And those early things. So I feel like, and we have the thing where we talk about, sinning on Saturday night, but in the front row in the church Sunday morning, you better get up and show up and get your praises in, right? So I just feel like we have always, even if you think about music, like you think about some 70s artists, like I'll go Al Green, right? Because Al Green is one of my personal favorites. And we know that religion and his music in a different type of way intertwined. And there was a lot of, maybe not controversy, but conversation around someone who, had a church background or got into that, making the type of music that he made. You think about somebody like Marvin Gaye, who had songs like Sanctified Lady, and, obviously his father was a reverend and was conflicted about secular music versus doing, going back to that. So I feel like there has always been an uncomfortable liaison between music, entertainment, especially for us as a culture, and the gospel side. There's so many artists that twist and turn and are a part of it. I think that maybe not an obsession, but I think it's just a part of who we are. We're going to sin and be sanctified, and it perfectly makes sense.
That's
it's
fair
for everybody, but for us especially, because it's something that we, struggle with or talk about a lot.
And that's why I give Kanye grace. Because, he talks about it so much, especially on that College Dropout, right? Essentially, he wants to, his heart, wants to live holy, but, he wants to be ratchet at the same time.
Correct.
And I think low-key, that's one of the reasons why he's who he is right now.
You think so?
100% conflicted.
I definitely think that he is conflicted, and I think that he goes back and forth about some things, but it's just when he's on, did he say, well, some of the stuff he may have alluded to being bipolar. I am not saying it. I am saying that if he is, based off of the information, just want to be clear, that when he goes manic, that side, there is an awful lot of sex that is involved in it. We hear about things like him showing the Adidas executives a lot of porn. We see the way that he sexualized his wife, Kim, talking about, all of this off of my girl's sex tape and, all of these things. His new wife, he kind of dresses her up like a blow-up doll at times. Like, I don't know. When you hear about men of a certain time, era, age, not saying that men should tell women how to dress or any of those things. It's just interesting the choices that he makes for his wife and how he dresses her out in public when he's so critical of his ex-wife and some of the things that he, listed as making her not exactly a fit mom or a fit role model in his daughter's life and the choices that she's made. It really is an interesting turn of events.
You remember that famous video from Kanye?
Yeah, where he had the one that kicked off the Taylor beef again.
I mean, you have like 20 people in the bed together. Like what are you saying? What are you insinuating there?
And there's so many, like, with something like that, because on one hand, I do think that Kanye, sometimes the creative risk that he takes and the things that he puts together from an introspective aspect, they do give you conversation. They give you stuff to think about. Because, for example, you bringing up that video and all of those different people in bed together from a higher level, right? Let's say he wasn't talking about literally, right, in any capacity. But let's say he was just talking about of the business of entertainment, of the same interest and goals at the end of the day. Maybe it doesn't look like we're on the same team, but we're all on the same team because of money or because of this connection or those type of things. So I think that it makes it convoluted at times to have the conversations because, sometimes I think it is not difficult to hold people to their word, but you understand at times where they bend, fold, and break, given the circumstances. Now, what you do after that, I don't know, but it makes sense when they're kind of in the thing. So Lil Nas X issuing this apology and feeling upset, knowing he goes too far, you extend him kindness, you extend him forgiveness, but are you going to support? You're not giving him any of that?
No.
Interesting. Why not? Because you think he knows better?
I think he knows better.
And because he did it the first time around?
Absolutely, 100%.
So, okay. Well, do you think he's going to be successful this time around?
No.
Interesting.
And if he is successful, it's because of the community that he represents. They're going to support him because of that.
Are they supporting him right now, though? Because I don't see them,
I don't know.
Backing him up like this, like they have been in other times past.
And give me another song outside of Old Town Road. And what was the other, Montero or something like that?
Montero. What was the song with him and Jack Harlow? I'm going to keep going back to that.
I don't even know.
That was my joke.
Go look at that, but
yeah.
I don't know.
We'll have to see. It's an interesting position. I think he should have went with his talent in music this time around. I think it would have been okay, but we'll have to see what develops. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into, there's an airport in the U.S. that has a full-length basketball court installed right in the middle. We're also going to get up in the details of a new Jordan Peele flick that is coming out that is sports related. And of course, Daniel Kaluuya. Why you wouldn't work with these individuals? All that on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Bad on my hands and knees. Got that fire so you sweat when I taste and tease. Get it hot, baby, cough drops, feel the breeze. Get you sprung with the love shots out with Z. Do it well when I freak that. If you coming with ends, then I'ma keep that. And so speak that. Don't be waiting too long or this will be gone before dark singing the song. Now bring it on. What?
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A meeting to discuss the current state of the migrant crisis in Chicago and Cook County is being postponed because of the extreme cold. Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is black, and the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus were scheduled to meet at the United Center. The mayor's office says the meeting will be rescheduled as soon as possible. Georgia's Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis has made her first public comments following a lawsuit filed alleging an improper relationship with a special prosecutor. Willis, who is black, made the comments during a MLK Day speech at Atlanta's oldest black church. Willis did not mention the special prosecutor by name, nor confirmed or denied the accusations. She also called out U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying they have never met each other, yet Greene has allowed her spirit to be filled with hate. Greene filed a criminal misconduct complaint against Willis and her special prosecutor last week. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Nearly 3,000 teen drivers die in car crashes each year. Tire Rack Street Survival is designed to save lives. The one-day hands-on driving school gives teens experience in car control through exercises that include emergency braking and skid recovery. Find a class near you at TireRack.com/survive.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580. Follow the leader. Are you ready? The station leading the way with exclusive interviews. Follow the leader. Stimulating conversation and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs. Follow the leader. Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. Keep following the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus, plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call Call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Limitless. Adventures and adventurous and limitless. And the dollar's guilty ain't never been innocent. Take the ditch and never give her shit in there. If it ain't dividends, then it's just irrelevant. I'm on my level, I'm richer than this shit. Look at the bezel on my wrist, neck, and mane shit. Her and my whip flex and come from the same district. Speak the same language and knock the same shit. We ain't the same. Again, I'm really gang business lanes. Again, we gon' strangle them and then we hang them. Aim where you niggas hanging that and get the ringing. Doorbells, 223s in your house. Gang, wanna swag, bring more house. Gang, chase bags, go all out. You ain't on the same page, then you're out. Stay dangerous, don't change in the courthouse. I'm from where you better keep a thump up. You better get your so she get bumped up. Cause there's some niggas in the building with a lump sum. Bada bang, super turned up. Designer got me looking like a comer. And you're looking like you're out. I feel like 100 in a duffer. And my swag costs your house.
Welcome back in. We're on hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, oh no, Lil Nas X, we're going to have to see what you got to roll out with before we decide if we are, giving you an open policy. Because I just feel like you took it a little far. A little far. And we're going to see how much switches up now that far is not popping as it once was. Okay, I mentioned actor Daniel Kaluuya, Academy Award-winning actor Daniel Kaluuya. He recently revealed in a British GQ interview that his reason for turning down a few fashion campaigns was because he was asked to work alongside emerging white stars. He said that he refused to work with a brand that wanted him to team with the white actors who had not achieved as much as he had in their careers. He said that he wanted to make sure he was representing right with his brand choices. He said, quote, "I said no to them. I didn't understand it. If it's not a big yeah, then it's a no," he said. He said they wanted to put me against 2 white actors who hadn't achieved as much as me. And I want to be on my own because that's not going to be a good look. I've done things. I just feel like I have a certain position. And it's not like, oh, I'm so cool. It's just like, yeah, I don't like the way that is. It's got to be because of what it means, right? Because I want to be out there and make sure that I'm representing right. He also said, no one's going to make me feel like that. And that he does not want to shrink himself. He said, my mom didn't raise me like that. Why would I have to shrink myself to make people feel comfortable? He said, I want to do good stuff. I want to do cool stuff. I want to help people. I want to bring jobs. I want everyone to grow artistically. I want to do amazing things. But he said also, if he was in the similar position, would they have been so quick to want to put him in with an Academy Award winner, a star that has, opened several films to large amounts of money and so forth? And, I respect him for that. It takes a lot to stand up for yourself and say that. I mean, there's two ways to look at it, right? And I don't know if this has happened in his career, but there are some artists, and when I say artists, I'm deeming it to be actors and actresses, singers, model, whomever, that have been introduced to us via established talent. And it is grace. You think about even Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. They pretended that Diana Ross discovered them to, give them a better look. So it's not unheard of to want to pair newer artists with more established ones to give that kind of, veteran newbie sort of interaction. But much respect to him for recognizing that, hey, I've done a couple of things and that allows me, a little bit of flex, a little bit of power to say who and what I don't want to work with and why it's okay to do so, So shout out to Daniel. He held it down. He's very serious as far as representation and his blackness. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that I respect that he stands up for himself, one. Two, I interviewed him during the Judas and the Black Messiah press run, which he eventually won an Academy Award for his portrayal of Fred Hampton. And one of the things that I asked him after I asked if he had, any prior knowledge on Fred Hampton or the situation, I talked to him about if he had any empathy for, oh my gosh, Bill, whatever, the guy that ultimately was responsible for selling out the Panther Party and ultimately Fred's death. And we had a conversation about that, about integrity, about the fact that Bill was 17 years old when initially approached by the FBI and caught up, and what that means in the grand scheme of things and as far as integrity. And what I learned from that conversation with him is that he does listen, he does study and look back and takes his position amongst these things, not seriously like we see some people where they're too arrogant, too far, doing too much, but that he respects the position that he's been put in, especially when it comes to within the American culture. And especially this was during a time period where there was a lot of conversation about British actors taking on American roles and whether or not it was fair. So standing up for what you believe in, we always love to see that. So shout out to him. Okay, so listen, TJ Holmes, we know that he and his ex, well, she's not his ex, she's his current, I guess, Amy, they currently have a podcast together, right? He recently disclosed on the podcast that during all of the drama and the affair and all of that stuff, he decided that he should re-examine his relationship with alcohol. He said that during that time frame, he was taking as much as 18 drinks in one day following the backlash of his affair. 18 drinks, is that like a 2 bottles? I don't even know. I guess it depends on what size it was. This was during he and Amy's podcast. Their podcast is called Amy and TJ. So in the episode, they admitted that they were appalled by how much they drank in 2023. They said that it was their version, basically, of the pandemic because they obviously were housebound because of the scandal. They had lost their jobs. What he said was, I didn't have a job to go to, and I was always, and I was away from a lot of friends and family. We were laying low. So what did I do? I drank a lot. A lot more than I've ever done. I don't think I've ever gone a full year where I drank every single day. And that was 2023 for me. So not only was drinking day in, day out, both of them a little bit, but 18 drinks at times during that time period. She said that, and Amy added that she wasn't getting wasted or drunk every day, but keeping a buzz going all day to sort of keep a heightened state of mind during an anxious year. So, I guess that sounds like a functioning alcoholic. I'm not saying that's what she is. I'm just saying that that's what it sounds like if you're just drinking just enough, I guess, to take off the edge, but to where you're a little inebriated, right? So TJ said he's going to re-examine his relationship with alcohol, and we'll see what happens from there. At least he recognized it. That's important, right? Because the first step is acknowledgement, and then you can go ahead and fix up the problem. Listen, when we come forward, there's still more stories, more headlines, more trending topics, because that's what we do here at RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay locked in. When we get back, I got a Dionne Warwick story. I have a story about a former, now Washington Wizards player who was busted for shoplifting in Target. All of that and more.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, really quick, I want to mention that there is a trailer that dropped over the weekend for a film called Not Another Church Movie. And I need you to go check out the trailer for this movie. It feels like, you know, one of those spoof features that Sean and Marlon Wayans are so popular for as of late. Well, this one, Not Another Church Movie, it definitely is taking aim at, you know, one of our favorite filmmakers that has a studio in the Atlanta area. Listen, who stars in this? I'm going to tell you that Jamie Foxx is portraying, is he playing God or Jesus Christ? One of them, a motorcycle riding version of this. Vivica Fox, she's also in this. So, see, y'all was doubting Vivica. Vivica, stay working. Here she is rolling out another project. And there's a couple of other cameos and features of people that we see in this. I believe it will be dropping sometime next month. And it says in this trailer, this has nothing to do with Medea's family wedding, all of these things. But there is an individual that looks very similar to a Medea-esque character. What is the other character that Mr. Perry used to dress up in? There is a character that is, you know, a man that is good, wholesome, working with his hands, man, with a bad braid wig. He's doing something. Tisha Campbell, she's also in it. So, you know, check out the trailer. Let me know what you think. Jasmine Guy is in it. Lamore, Kyla Pratt. Like, it's a cast. And Jamie Foxx is actually God. Mickey Rourke plays the devil in it. Okay? So, I know we've been talking a great deal tonight about things that are, you know, sacrilegious, improper, blasphemous. Is this something that you would put under there? Or does this get a pass because it is what? Satire. And obviously so. And really more so based on a genre of films and certain things that happen in those films than religion per se. I don't know. We'll have to see when it comes out. Some people are feeling as if there is no way that Tyler can't somehow secretly be involved. Because, like, for example, the lead character's name in this is not Tyler Perry. It's, is it Fairy Tyler, but the P is silent or something like that. So it's all satire. I believe that I tweeted the video out on X. So you could go check that out if you are interested. Funny stuff, right? And really quick, we have to shout out Fat Joe. He gave Stephanie Mills a fuchsia chinchilla coat, right? Just because she is that girl. She said, I received an incredible gift this past Saturday from my brother, who I love so much, y'all. Y'all know him as Fat Joe. He's my friend, and Joe gifted me with a chinchilla coat. I hardly ever receive gifts, so I didn't know how to respond. I was speechless, but I'm so thankful and grateful. And here's a picture of me in my brand new chinchilla coat. If you're interested, please go check out Miss Stephanie Mills' Instagram. I am Stephanie Mills. She looks fantastic in her fuchsia chinchilla. She better be careful, though, because PETA will come get her. PETA will be on her. So, you know, shout out to that. Shout out to getting gifts when you least expect them and people appreciating you. All right. If you haven't heard, the lineup for Coachella has been announced. Pre-sale begins this Friday, January 19th. And I doubt if I'm going to go, but I will say that with No Doubt headlining, I'm low-key interested. I like No Doubt. I like a little Gwen Stefani. Doja Cat is also performing on Sunday. Tyler, the Creator, is heading up Saturday night. And Lana Del Rey is heading up Friday night. Other acts that are performing, J Balvin, Jhené Aiko, who, you know, we love. Lil Yachty. Who else? I'm trying to get through the list of people that I know would be of interest over here. I just, you know, I think it'll be interesting. I will not probably be taking a trip. I started going to Coachella in the early to mid 2000s when it first launched. And I think I've shared this before. I am not a festival fan because you don't have a seat. And I'm short. So that means that I cannot see what is taking place on the stage. And I don't understand paying that much money for me not to see anything and to be looking at someone's back the entire night. That sounds really, really depressing and sad. But as I said, pre-sale starts on Friday. Go check it out. So keeping you updated, Amazon has laid off several hundred employees, not only at their Prime, which is, the streaming aspect of Amazon and their service, but also Twitch, which we know is a different type of streamer where you can stream your own stuff to people, and a few others. They said the announcement was made last week on Wednesday that several hundred employees have been let go. And, the message that they sent when they informed employees was, throughout the past year, we've looked at nearly every aspect of our business with an eye towards improving our ability to deliver even more personalized, breakthrough movies, TV shows, and live sports in a personalized and easy-to-use entertainment experience for our global customers, right? As a result, we've identified opportunities to reduce or discontinue investments in certain areas while increasing our investment in certain areas to focus on content and product initiatives that deliver the most impact. So, I don't know, guys. Expect more content from Amazon. I don't know if it will be in the vein of this new live sports deal. As we said, they are also going to be looking to get into and take one of those weeks of the NBA, one of those weeknights from either Turner or ESPN, or in addition to, in the coming up season, because the NBA's media deal is almost up. So the landscape for sports is going to look a lot different. We know that that Prime Video on Thursdays has been setting record numbers with Thursday Night Football. Why am I saying Monday when it's Thursdays? Clearly. Can they do the same with the NBA? And how much are you willing to pay for games that you used to get for free on TV? So we'll have to see. Well, listen, we've talked about a great deal tonight. And of course, tomorrow we're going to hit you with more. I know that I did not give you the full story of the former Wizards player. Let me just give it to you really quickly. Ryan Rollins, he played in 10 regular season games with the Wizards and was released last week on Monday. They haven't commented on the reasons behind his release or why he was cut, but he has been charged and accused of stealing from a Target store on 7 different occasions from September 9th to November 9th. During that time, he was on the Wizards roster, and he was charged with 7 counts of petty larceny, and allegedly he small household items like groceries, body wash, and candles. So I have questions. Maybe he's a kleptomaniac. Don't know. There are other reasons why people shoplift, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with finances. Anyway, that's my time. Thank you guys for locking in. Hit us up tomorrow, 9 p.m. for more RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. On the other side, the best of KBLA.